Be me, 25, night shift security guard at a history museum. Pay is garbage, but I get to exist in silence. Spend 8 hours a night walking past taxidermy bears in suits of armor, living that nocturnal vampire lifestyle without the cool powers. Just me, a flashlight, and my crippling inability to talk to women. Routine is solid. Patrol the East Wing. Check the locks. Sit in the break room eating a cold sandwich. Stare at the cameras. Repeat until sunrise. One Tuesday, schedule changes. Boss tells me they hired a new restoration specialist. Says she works late on the Clockwork collection. Tells me to just let her in and make sure she doesn't steal the gears. Whatever, midnight rolls around. Buzzer goes off at the employee entrance. Check the camera. See a figure drowning in an oversized raincoat. Go to the door. Open it. Gust of wind blows rain into the hallway. She steps in. Tiny. Maybe 3 inches. On a good day. Messy brown hair tied back with what looks like a piece of wire. Glasses fogged up immediately. She's carrying a toolbox that looks heavier than she is. I just stand there like an NPC. She wipes her glasses. Looks up at me. Green eyes. The kind that look like they're analyzing your soul. She says, "Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm here to fix the time." Fix the time. Weird phrasing, but okay. I grunt something that sounds like welcome mixed with help. Check her ID. She walks past me, boots squeaking on the linoleum. Smells like rain and machine oil. Watch her head toward the West Wing. Heart does a little flip. Ignore it. Back to patrol. Walk past the pharaohs. Walk past the Civil War muskets. Get to the Clockwork Hall. Usually it's dead silent here. Just the creepy ticking of 100 dead clocks. Tonight, there's a light on in the restoration lab. Door is cracked open. I shouldn't look. I look. She's sitting at a high workbench. Magnifying goggles on. Surrounded by brass gears and tiny springs. She's humming. Terrible tune. Completely off key. She's holding a screwdriver like a surgeon holds a scalpel. I watch for 10 seconds. She freezes. Doesn't turn around. Says, "You hover loudly for a ninja." Panic. Stammer out an apology. She spins on the stool. Goggles make her look like a steampunk minion. She grins. Not a polite smile. A real one. Crooked tooth and all. "Come hold this," she says. My brain says run. My legs walk into the room. She hands me a heavy brass plate. "Don't drop it. It's from 1750. If it breaks, we both go to jail." Great, no pressure. I hold it while she twists a screw. Her hands are covered in grease. Fingers move fast. Precise. She talks while she works. Fast stream of consciousness. About the weather. About the coffee machine being broken. About how clocks have personalities. "This one is grumpy," she says, tapping a grandfather clock. "Spring is too tight." I just nod. Hardly say a word. She doesn't seem to mind. Finish the task. She takes the plate back. "Thanks, guard guy. You have steady hands." I mutter. "It's Anon." "Thanks, Anon. I'm Sarah." "But you knew that." She turns back to her work. I walk out, lean against the wall in the hallway. Heart rate is roughly 180. Why am I like this? Next night, I'm patrolling, dreading seeing her, hoping to see her. The duality of man. Walk by the lab. She's there again. This time she's under a table looking for something. "Lost a screw," she calls out without looking. I sigh. Get down on my knees. Click on my flashlight. Find a tiny microscopic screw near the table leg. Pick it up. Hand it to her. She crawls out. Hair is even messier today. Smudge of grease on her cheek. She takes the screw. Their fingers brush. Electric shock. Maybe static. Maybe love. "Hero," she says. She pulls a thermos out of her bag. "I made tea. Want some?" I don't drink tea. I say yes. We sit on the floor of the lab. 2 a.m., surrounded by disemboweled clocks, drinking Earl Grey out of a plastic cup. She asks me why I work nights. I tell her the truth. World is too loud during the day. She nods. Doesn't laugh. "I get that," she says. "That's why I like clocks. They make sense. Gear A turns gear B. Simple. People are messy. We sit in silence for a bit. It's comfortable. The ticking of the clocks around us starts to sound like a heartbeat. She points to a massive rusted clock in the corner. "That's the project," she says. 18th century tower clock. Hasn't ticked in 50 years. I'm gonna make it sing." Her eyes light up when she talks about it. I decide right then that I would fight a bear for this girl. Weeks pass. Routine changes. Patrol. Check locks. Go to lab. Bring her vending machine snacks. She brings me weird teas. We talk. Well, she talks. I listen and throw in the occasional sarcastic comment. She laughs at my jokes. Actual laughter. Makes me feel like a stand-up comedian. One night, storm knocks the power out. Museum goes pitch black. Backup generators hum to life, but it's dim, spooky as hell. I rush to the lab, worried she's freaked out. Burst in. She's sitting there by the light of a battery lantern, calm as a monk, shadows dancing on the walls. "Hey," she says softly. "Power's out." I state the obvious. I noticed. It's nice. Quiet. I sit next to her on the stool, shoulders touching. We watch the shadows. "Do you believe in ghosts?" she asks suddenly. "I work in a museum at night. If I did, I'd have quit day one." She chuckles. "I think clocks are ghosts," she whispers. "They hold time that's already gone." Deep. I look at her side profile. Lantern light catches the grease mud she always seems to have. She turns, catches me staring, doesn't look away. Air in the room gets heavy. My brain is screaming, "Kiss her!" My anxiety is screaming, "Don't be a creep." I clear my throat. "I should check the breakers." Coward. She smiles. Softly. "Okay. Be careful, Anon." Walk away hating myself. 2 days later. I come in. She's not in the lab. Panic. Maybe she finished the job? Maybe she quit? Check the break room. She's asleep on the couch, curled up in a ball, drooling a little on a cushion. Looks exhausted. I sit in the chair opposite her. Just watch over her. Guard dog mode engaged. She wakes up an hour later, jumps when she sees me, wipes the drool, blushes. First time I've seen her blush. "How long was I out?" "An hour. You work too hard." "The tower clock is fighting me," she groans. "The escapement mechanism is jammed." "It's stubborn." "Like you," I say. She throws a crumpled napkin at me. "Shut up." She smiles though. She invites me to come see the tower clock properly. It's up in the old belfry of the museum. Dusty. Cold. Pigeons everywhere. The mechanism is huge, size of a car, rusty gears everywhere. She climbs inside it like a gremlin. "Hand me the wrench." I hand it. "Hammer." "Hand it." She bangs on a gear. Clang. Dust falls on us. "It's so close," she mutters. "It just needs rhythm." She looks at me. "Anon, grab that lever on the left. When I say pull, you pull. Hard." I grab the iron lever. Cold metal. "Ready?" "Ready." "Now." I yank the lever back with all my weight. She hits a pin with the hammer. Silence for a second. Then, click. Whirr. Thunk. The massive pendulum starts to swing. Slowly at first. Whoosh. Whoosh. The gears start turning. It's loud. Mechanical music. She jumps down from the machine, face covered in rust dust, grinning like a maniac. "We did it." She runs at me, hugs me, full impact. I freeze, then hug back. She feels solid, real, warmth seeping through my uniform. She pulls back but doesn't let go of my arms. Looks up at me. Adrenaline is high. The clock is booming above us, like a giant heartbeat. "You have dirt on your nose," I say. Stupidest thing I could possibly say. She laughs. "You have rust on your shirt." She stands on her tiptoes, kisses me. Tastes like dust and chapstick. Best moment of my life. Brain finally shuts up. No anxiety. Just her. We break apart. She's smiling. "Took you long enough," she says. We spend the rest of the shift sitting in the belfry, listening to the clock we fixed, watching the sunrise through the slats. Fast forward 6 months. We're dating. Officially. I still work nights. She got a permanent position at the museum. Our schedules are weird, but we make it work. Breakfast dates at 4 p.m., night walks through the exhibits when the museum is closed. She teaches me about gears. I teach her which floorboards squeak so she can sneak up on me. She never succeeds. I always hear her humming. One night, I'm at her apartment. Place is chaos. Clocks everywhere. Cuckoo clocks, digital clocks, sundials, constant ticking would drive a normal person insane. To me, it sounds like home. She's working on a pocket watch at her desk. I'm cooking dinner, burnt spaghetti, my specialty. She looks up. "Anon? Yeah? I think I fixed it." "The watch?" "No. Us." I pause. "Were we broken?" She puts down the tweezers, walks over to the kitchen, wraps her arms around my waist from behind, leans her head on my back. "No, but I was lonely. And you were hiding." She squeezes tight. "We're synchronized now." I turn around, hug her. That was a terrible clock pun. I know. I'm amazing. Year 2. I decide to propose. Can't do a normal dinner proposal. Too loud. Too public. Has to be the museum. I plan it for weeks. Tell her I found something weird in the basement. She rushes over on her night off, wearing pajama pants and a coat. Priorities. I lead her to the Clockwork hall. I've set it up. I contacted a buddy in AV, projected stars onto the ceiling, set up a small table with her favorite tea and a gear. Not just any gear, a custom brass cog I had machined, engraved with the date we met. She walks in, stops dead, looks at the stars, looks at the table, looks at me. Did you break into the planetarium controls? Maybe. She walks over, picks up the gear, reads the date, tears well up. It's a main drive gear, she whispers, the most important part. I get down on one knee, knees crack. I'm getting old. Pull out the ring. It's vintage. Art Deco. Looks like something from her collection. Sarah, you fixed the time. You fixed me. Be my main drive gear? Cheesiest line in history. She bursts out laughing through the tears. You idiot. Yes. She tackles me. We end up on the floor, surrounded by ticking, under fake stars. It's perfect. Wedding is small. Backyard affair. Her bouquet has little clock hands wired into the flowers. My vows are short. Hers are written on the back of an instruction manual. We dance to a song that sounds like a waltz, but has a ticking rhythm track. She steps on my feet. I don't care. Life settles down. I get promoted to head of security. Day shift. Weird seeing the sun. She runs the restoration department. We drive to work together. Argue about radio stations. She likes chaotic jazz. I like silence or podcasts. We compromise on audiobooks. 5 years later, we have a kid. Boy. Named him Arthur. He's quiet, observant, likes to take things apart. Sarah is a great mom. She explains gravity to him using cereal. She lets him hold the screwdriver with supervision. I watch them sometimes, just sitting in the living room, feeling that chest ache. The good kind. The kind that tells you you have everything you need. One Saturday, we go back to the museum. It's Arthur's first time in the tower. We climb the spiral stairs, Sarah holding his hand. Open the door to the belfry. The big clock is still there, thumping away, rhythmic, powerful. Arthur's eyes go wide. Big, he whispers. Sarah picks him up. Daddy and I fixed this, she tells him. Daddy fixed it? He looks at me skeptical. I laugh. Mommy fixed it. Daddy pulled the lever. Sarah smiles at me over his head. That same smile from the first rainy night, green eyes crinkling. She puts Arthur down to look at the gears, walks over to me, takes my hand. Rough callus against rough callus. Still ticking? She says. I squeeze her hand. Yeah, still ticking. We stand there listening to the time pass. Used to be terrified of time running out. Used to think every second was just another second lost. Now, every tick is a second I got to spend with her. Every talk is a promise of another one. I look out the slats at the city below. Cars moving like ants, people rushing. Up here, time is ours. She rests her head on my shoulder. I smell the machine oil and lavender shampoo. Best smell in the world. Thinking back to that night shift. Lonely? Bored. Waiting for something to happen. Turns out, I was waiting for her. Life isn't a movie. It's not big explosions or dramatic scores. It's just gears turning. Sometimes they get stuck. Sometimes they need grease. But if you find the right person to maintain the machine with, it runs forever. Arthur runs back to us. Hungry, he declares. Moment over. Back to reality. Pizza? Sarah suggests. Pizza. I agree. We walk down the stairs, leaving the clock to keep the time for everyone else. We have our own time now. And it's plenty. Be me. Happy. Finally.